Hello. Once again, I'm back. Michael Sneed. We're starting a business from scratch. Today, I'm going to be talking about passing the honeymoon stage of starting a business from scratch. So I'm going to give a couple of people a few minutes to join in, and I'll get going. I see I got two people looking. I can't tell quite now who they are, but we're going to get started in a couple more minutes. Um, and okay, we got three, so I don't want to take too much of your time. Being that it's MLK birthday weekend or today, and people might be going out to do certain things. Well, today what I'm talking about is getting past the what we call the honeymoon stage of starting a business. As you know, you all have been following along with me for the last couple of months of starting a business from scratch, and we started this physical store location where we actually sell reconditioned and used appliances. And this is about maybe I think the fifth or sixth month we're here, and right now we're at the point where we're actually past what we call the honeymoon stage. Just like if you're getting ready to get married, when you're leading up to the marriage and you're picking out your wedding gown and you're planning the wedding, you're planning your trip. All that stuff is fun. It's fun, and everybody's excited. Everybody got a lot of energy, and everybody has all these ideas how everything is going to operate within the marriage and stuff. And then once you get married and you go on the honeymoon and you get back home to where you are going to be living, then you get into actual real life situations where now this is the person you chose to spend the rest of your life with, and now y'all got to start living together and making things happen. And you might start to realize, hey, it's not all as fun as I thought it was going to be. That's the same thing happens when you start a business. When you first get ready to get started, the whole act of putting it together and you thinking all this stuff is going to work out exactly how you have it planned, and everything's going to be fun and it's going to be really easy. You're going to make all this money and everything's just going to go real smooth and easy. Well, unfortunately, it doesn't work like that. Right now, we're at the place where we're past the honeymoon stage, and we're actually here in the business, and we got to start making some hard decisions. Just like if once you get married, and you and your spouse get home and you get ready to start paying bills, and you all are living together, and you got one way you like to do things and she has a way she likes to do things. Y'all got to start to compromise and come together and make the thing work if you're going to stay together. Well, that's the same thing now with a partnership and with this business. We're at the point now where we actually things that we thought were going to happen are not happening the way we thought they were. Everybody has other businesses they got going on. Everybody businesses are a little different, so everybody has to do something. Everybody now have to start coming in and starting to give in some things, and we got to start looking at the business because now that the business is not doing what we wanted to do, we're at the stage now where people start to get mad at business people, where they start to say he's an evil capitalist. All he concerned about is making money. All he doesn't care about the employees. Well, we're at that stage now where we got to start looking at this business and say, okay, if this is something that we're going to continue to do and we want to continue to make money at this thing and be profitable at it, we're going to have to start making some hard decisions. Some of it going to have to deal with staff. Some of it's going to have to deal with the actual products that we're offering here. Some of it's going to have to deal with if we even stay here in this location. It might get to a point where we don't feel like this location is good. And it even might have to go to the point we even pushing around the fact that maybe should not be doing used appliances. Maybe we should be doing like a rent to own place where if we're putting too much money and too much time in getting the appliances up and running, maybe it might be easier to buy new appliances and then just do like a rent to own, let them rent to own the new appliances. We ain't got to put the money into fixing them up. We know they're good. They got the 1 year warranty by the manufacturer, and we make our money off of that. So we got all this stuff that we're hitting around trying to see if this thing is going to work. So that's where we're at right now. And just like in your marriage, when you get to that point where you and your husband or you and your wife finally get there and y'all actually are living together, sometimes you have to go to counseling and get some outside people to actually look in and find out what are the problems and give y'all some advice on how to get things back on track. Same thing here. We might have to do that. We might have to bring in some counseling. We might have to go get a consultant that actually does with physical stores like we're trying to do, that has done it in the past, that has a track record of making these things work. We might have to bring that person in and let them be a counselor to us and say, hey, this is the problems y'all got, and this is what you have to do to get things back to where you want them at. And in that same process, just like if you go to counseling, they give you homework and they give everybody assignments and tell everybody what they need to do. Same thing will happen in our business. It might be when we start to evaluate things a little deeper coming up in the next couple of weeks, you might find out, hey, I might not be the person that should be in here actually running the business. I might have been good to get it up and going, but within our skill set or with another skill set outside, we might need to bring them in to actually run the business. Just because you can get one up and going doesn't necessarily mean that you're the right person to be sitting in there to actually continue operating it. So, it's different stages. Certain people do different things. You might look at some of the football games and stuff. And you see the running backs. Some running backs in different situations are better equipped than other people. So that don't mean you have to keep the same running back in there all the time. Depending on the situation, that's the personnel you put in. Same thing with our business. We have to evaluate, say, hey, Sneed, you done your part, you got it up and going. Now we need to hand it off to somebody else and let them take it to the next step. And I have no problem at all with doing that. Matter of fact, I'm going to encourage that's what we do, and get somebody else in here to let them actually run it. Now that it's actually open, we hand it off to somebody else because, one, as you know, in the past videos I've done, you heard me complain, say I don't like physical locations, which I don't. And because I don't like the physical location, I'm bringing that vibe into this store every time I come. I come into this store and I don't like it. And when you bring that vibe in, believe it or not, the employees can tell you don't like it. The store, the business can tell you don't like it. So I need to remove that negative energy from coming in here. So, hey, we bring somebody in who does like this and who does have the knack to sit here and pay them and let them take it to the next level. So that's where we're at right now. We're trying to figure out if this is what we want to do continuing. I don't know. I'm going to ride it out for another month or two. And within that next month or two, we'll have to make a decision. Do we want to continue it? If we don't, then it'd be just the same way you would do if you were married and you decide you're going to split up. You might have to pay some alimony. I might have to be if we decide to split up, I might have to say, hey, I got to pay some alimony. I got to cut some checks until the business get to where I'm supposed to get off at. I might have to do that. Or we might have joint custody where they say, okay, Sneed, you can stay in here and you come here a couple of days out the week or whatever, and you pay your money, and then after that we'll remove you out. But this is where we're at. And matter of fact, this is the time, like I said, where a lot of times people's feelings get hurt. And they start to think, okay, the business owner just wanted to get nothing but money. All he wanted to do was open it up, make some money, and then take all the money and fire everybody. No, the business people want to keep the entrepreneurs. Thanks, Gene. Yeah, it's gonna work one way or the other. Sometimes you just have to you have to figure out how you want to do it. I could stay here and make it work, but if you know in your heart that you don't like to be here, you don't want to stay here and hurt everybody else's chances. So the store could go ahead and go, but I don't know if I want to be on this physical location forever. I would much rather go back into my little digital world and go back into the virtual space. So that's where we're at. We're here thinking if we're going to continue going, or if we're going to jump off, or we're going to make some changes. But it happens with all businesses when they first get started. You always, like I said before in the other videos, you never know what you're doing. So when you get here, you actually have to figure it out as you go. So as we thought, okay, it's good to bring the appliances in, rework them and sell them. But when you do that, you have a lot more into it versus if you were to just bring new appliances in, put them on the floor, let people rent them, or have different avenues of purchasing them that would allow them to purchase them and give them the same product. But we have less time and less handling of the product. It's just a bunch of stuff that we would have to do. So with that being said, if you have any other questions about business and stuff, please hit me up. I get a lot of questions. People ask me, why are you doing this? Why are you doing these little tutorials that you do every week or every couple of weeks? And the reason why I keep telling people, believe it or not, it's getting to a point where eventually everybody's going to have to have some form of business of their own. And when that happens, they're going to need somebody to teach them how to do businesses. So this is just me learning another skill set too, how to teach people online. And eventually I might put them all together, start putting together a little program where people could purchase the program and show how to start a business from scratch. So that's why I'm doing this. So some people ask that, and the other thing that I've been getting, some people say, well, sometimes you're a little you condemn people, or you come off a little too hard with your message and stuff. And I've heard that from several people, and I'm really trying to work on that, and not to be so condemning when I come at people. But I remember the first person that really introduced me into business and how business worked. When I first met that person, I thought he was the biggest butthole in the world, and I thought he was arrogant. I thought he talked down to people, and really why I thought that was because my stuff was so much in a mess, and when he was talking, I felt bad because I was so messed up that I didn't want to hear that. I wanted to hear the good stuff. Or you can do better. You're not doing that bad. Everything's okay. But he was just straight up and told me, hey, you can do this, and what you're doing now is wrong. And eventually, he had a group of about 12 of us. 12 of us thought we were business owners and didn't know anything about business. And he actually showed us how business operate. And those of us who stuck by him and listened to him, eventually you start to realize he was right the whole time, and you start to appreciate what he done. So sometimes if I come off a little like you think I'm talking down to you, no, I'm not. Like I told one of my friends this weekend, I'm not talking down to anybody. It's just the fact that when I know people are selling for less, and they don't have to settle for less. Sometimes I do get a little emotional and a little involved in it because I want them to know you can do it. And sometimes I might come off a little pushy, but I'm not trying to talk down to anybody, anything. I just want you to know that you can do it. And I remember when I was playing football at Den Hicks High School, we had two coaches, and one coach said, no, there's two ways you can coach somebody. One of the coaches, even though you sucked at football, he will always tell you, you're doing pretty good. You're doing okay. Just do this a little better. Do that a little better. And you sucked. And the other coach, he will just come right out and grab you by your face mask, and he'll tell you suck. He'll call you a turd and throw you, just push you out. And what happened, I remember, because he was running our offense, and he actually challenged people and stuff. We were like undefeated. And then got to the last championship game, and that coach had to leave us. And the other coach, who always told you was okay and gave you encouraging words, actually he would even let you ask you what type of play you would want to run. They put him in. Oh, you remember him, Keith? Yeah. So the other coach took over, and we got killed in the championship game because the other guy. He knew that for some people that didn't work. Some people you have to grab them and let them know that, hey, you're not doing that well, and you got to go and push them. And that's kind of like our coach. I'm not one who even though you that's going to mix words and just tell you you're doing well, it ain't that bad. No, I don't do that. I come straight out and tell you, hey, it don't work, and this is what you need to do. And anything I tell you to do is something that I've done for myself, and I tried for myself, and something that I've done. Just like you see the business that's going here. I'm not mixing anything. You get to see it. If you wanted to come down here, we had 12965 Highway 70 West Business in Clayton. You come down here and sit down and talk, and you can sit down here and come to the business and see it and see how it run. And I'm opening up to everybody. Like I said, hey, we passed the honeymoon stage. It's fun, but now we here now. We got to make the numbers work. We can make these numbers work. Hey, some people are gonna have to leave. Some hours gonna get cut. Everything gonna have to happen for us to get these numbers where we want to be at, and to make this thing grow. If we continue to think this is the way we're gonna go. So once again, thank everybody for joining in. I'll be. I know last time I told you, I said I was gonna start bringing in the transition of us moving overseas to Medellin. That is in the process. I'm still in the process trying to get a couple of members of my family to still go, but I'm going in July. I think I have 2 people that say they're ready to go within my family. So other than that, the rest of them still don't want to go. But I'm going to start bringing more of that as we start to get deeper into that. And I actually found out a name for what people are doing. It's very common now. It's called being a digital nomad, where you actually have all your businesses online and you're digital and you go live everywhere. And a lot of people are doing it now. I don't know, it's because I actually decided that's what I'm going to do, and I'm getting more into these groups and talking to people, but I'm finding it's a huge community that's all they do. Every 3 months, they move someplace else with their visa. With the visa, you can stay for 90 days, and they just traveling throughout the world and getting all these experiences, and they're loving it. And a lot of them are living for less than $1,000 a month and still making U.S. dollars. So that's my plan, to at least start the process, so that maybe when when my last daughter graduates from high school, maybe my wife and I, if she gets on board, and maybe we might do that. Take 3 months hops around the world. I don't know. We'll see. But once again, thank y'all for joining in. Any questions, email me. I'll try to answer them, and I'll talk to you next time. Thank you.